Alright, take two. We just tried to start it again.
We were talking about BTS for ages and everything. But
which, could have been a bit off topic, but...
Yeah, Connor was doing a horrific impression of Jimin.
Yeah, we won't. That'll just be in the cutting room floor, but...
So, we're talking about bad trilogies now, and the first one up is TMNT.
TMNT. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the uneducated or unaffiliated.
Uninformed, yep.
In honor of the new movie that just came out this week.
Which has a BTS song in it.
That's why we were talking about BTS.
We'll just do it again.
We'll just take it from...
I was singing a song and the frog said, oh, is it like the Vanilla Ice? And I said, go Jimin, go Jimin, go. I've got a Jimin blanket on to keep me warm in the cold room. And he said, what's my favourite one? I said, Ran.
Oh.
And now we're back to where we are.
The Ninja Turtles. Do you like any of the 3 90s Ninja Turtles movies?
Besides Ran, I love the second one because people complained that the first one was too violent.
Yeah.
So they didn't use their weapons.
Yeah.
So Michelangelo, instead of using nunchucks, uses like sausages on links.
That's right, yeah.
And Leonardo uses his swords once, but he throws them in the ceiling to hold on to them to kick someone.
That's right.
So
that, yeah.
And April walked, or Casey walked.
No, the actress who played April got recast.
Yes.
And because she was like fighting for the rights of the workers in the suits, they were apparently like never getting breaks, and they were in these hot fucking over like really heavy suits and shit, and she was like the only person that was like, hey, you should probably give him like a break or something, and then she got kicked off the second movie.
Wow.
And Casey just walked, I think, because his character was like too dark, like tonally.
One of them said it was too violent, that's why. But then...
No, that's why they toned it down in the second one and brought in Vanilla Ice to make it more vanilla.
And, nice.
Yeah.
But the first one is about the turtles.
Yeah. No, sorry, keep going.
I have no idea.
The first one's about the turtles. They're like... It's sort of just an introduction to them. Yeah, an origin story. It's the first
are they in the subway, or is that the third one? I only remember the first one.
Yeah, in the first one too.
But they find the staff in the third one? The staff that turns them back in time?
Yeah, that's the third one.
So the first one, it's the turtles...
Oh, excuse me.
I don't know, just turtling it up.
Yeah, it's turtle time.
Raphael is in the trench coat mafia, and he's just walking around the city, and they're like... Oh, you cannot walk around the city. Yeah. I'm doing a Splinter impression, not Jimmy impression. And he's like,
could have fooled me.
Raphael. Oh.
Bit dicey, but
yeah,
we'll roll with it.
I'm going to be getting into it later. These damn splinters.
Yeah. And
then the second
one.
How does the first one end? Do you remember?
I don't remember the ending, but I like the first one.
The suits are great.
Yeah, the suits are great. I like the action set pieces. The opening scene's great, I think, because they were supposed to do... So it's like, I think it's April getting mugged or something, and then the turtles kick in and like stop the muggers.
Is it Raph that kicks in the trench coat? And she's
it's all of them.
Who's this dude in the trench?
No, it's all 4 turtles, but you don't see them in the opening scene.
Yeah.
They originally, I think and that's due to like budget cuts, right? They were supposed to have this whole like
Isn't
fight
it like
scene.
POV, like the camera's going through the sewers and that?
No.
And it's like supposed to be them running to save her? Am I remember?
No, I don't think. That might be in the second one.
Oh, okay.
I do remember something like that, but in the first one, the opening scene is just April, and then like... that you see like these shadows scattering or something, like something's there.
Yeah.
And then the lights go out. Like I think you see like one of Raphael's scythes go into the light and knock it out.
Yeah.
And then the lights come back on, and all of the crooks are like tied up and shit.
They're all turtles.
It's goofy, but I think it's a much better way of setting them up and like introducing the mystique of them and how they have to hide in the shadows and stuff. And
I just hate how they sound.
Yeah.
But the pizza delivery dudes stand in the street and they're like, yo, it's late, man, no tip. And he's like, what the flibanobi, dude?
Yeah, the Italian-American culture.
Hey, I cook the beats. I'm going to go through all of them.
And all I think there's some genuinely good ideas and themes and motifs in the first one.
Wasn't Splinter in Ran?
No. The guy who played Splinter is the guy who played Elmo in Sesame Street.
And Elmo was in Ran. That's why I keep getting...
Elmo was in Ran,
He played Toro.
Yes, he was the red one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
and then the second one... The second one... Oh, no, the first one ends, doesn't Splinter like fling Shredder like with his stick. It's so funny. And then he ends in the garbage truck, and then Casey's like, is like, seeing if anyone's looking, and then just turns the thing on and just crushes him. Yeah. It's really not that violent.
No, but there are a few things that were like cut out in the edit. Like there's one of the foot soldiers is like there's like some scene where
he just gets mutilated.
Shredder kills him. And like he originally is supposed to die, but they added sound effects in like of him going like oh, so you'd know he wasn't actually dead, but that's just in post.
Is George Bush in the first or second one? I can't remember.
Bush. Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, he's in the first one.
He's in the first. Yeah, little 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that any movie gets props for introducing the world to Sam Rockwell, a fucking incredible actor. But.
Yeah, and then but I like the Turtles, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the cartoon I grew up with.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with the weapons is so meaningful. It's like Leonardo has 2 swords.
Yeah.
Because he's like doesn't believe in violence or whatever, and they're like the most destructive thing or whatever.
Yeah, so it's
Raphael's really hot and heavy, but he's got 2 like sides that you got to be patient with.
Yeah.
And Michelangelo is very naive, so he's using weapons you got to be really, an expert with and skilled with. And Donatello's very high tech, so he's just got like a wooden staff.
Yeah, I love that shit.
And then in the second one, they're just using like Subways and pizza and Domino's
sausages and shit.
Sausages.
And then the third one, they bring the weapons back, but it's still like
they don't use
a lot goofier.
But then it's like really intense because it's like
it's
samurai
in feudal Japan.
Yeah, they go back in time, and the suits get progressively worse.
Yeah, so in the first one they had Jim Henson's company do the suits. Obviously they're incredible, but in the second one they still had Henson's company,
but it was his son or something.
Yeah, it was his son. Jim Henson had died in between the films.
Yeah.
And then in the third one, it's just completely
different. You can see the actors' eyes, like when they open the mouth to speak, they're just like 2 eyes looking at you.
Yeah, it's like they're like tweaking in the third one. Yeah, and then they're like whenever they talk, their whole head moves. So it's like shaking and jittery.
It's like a Dark Crystal. Yeah, when she turns her head, but the suit head stays where it is, and then she has to.
It's so bad.
But I think that's like a classic thing from the comics. Raphael going to the streets, but wearing the trench coat and the fedora, and they reference that in Fantastic Four. The Thing goes out into the street, and he's just in a trench coat and a fedora.
Oh, is that a reference?
It must be.
Yeah. No, I do remember a lot of those. Like Michelangelo was always my favorite as a kid. I don't know why. I just like the cowabunga attitude, and that was my sort of vibe as a kid.
I think Raph or Leonardo was my faves.
Yeah, fair enough. I do kind of want to see the new one, see how it takes it on.
Yeah.
I like the animation
style.
Well,
the original's very violent, so I don't understand how it's going to...
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like based off Daredevil. They took inspiration from that, you know? Yeah. The Hand Clan and the Foot Clan.
Yeah. Yeah. The foot soldiers by the like borderline child soldiers.
Yeah.
The Foot Clan.
Yeah, the first one's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's very... but I feel like it is trying to make this statement on like how like young men can be like easily influenced to join groups like that. It does
like the army. It's like an anti-war thing.
I don't know if it's that deep, but I do think there are some things it's trying to say in the first one, and then it just completely it's just.
Isn't it like drugs in that? Isn't it about all that? Like Dare was popping at them.
Maybe to do with like the radioactive sludge and shit. I don't know.
Meth and vanilla ice.
It's oh.
Did you get Ice Cube melted?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Rest in peace.
And he was in the third one. Yeah, it was weird when they brought out NWA in feudal Japan.
Yeah,
which
that was a weird
stands
choice.
for.
Nah, I thought they would have brought out BTS in feudal Japan, but
yeah, they hadn't been born yet.
Yeah, you don't reckon? You don't reckon they would have been born?
I don't think so. No.
The Bing-Tang boys,
the Bulletproof Boy Scout boys.
Yeah. Look, maybe they'll be in the next one.
Yeah. Also, Pinocchio is very similar to the first one.
Pinocchio is?
Yeah.
Okay. Care to elaborate or?
No.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think you want to go there.
I love Pinocchio.
Yeah.
No, there's a scene where all the boys get coerced and convinced to go join like the bar. They go drink and play pool and smoke and stuff, and they start turning into donkeys.
Yeah.
And to like go work on a farm somewhere or something.
Yeah.
But it's weird because Pinocchio just like runs off and doesn't save the kids, so they all just get turned into donkeys and sent off. It's like the weirdest Disney hero.
Yeah, that's bit strange. I've never seen Pinocchio. I cannot attest to this. I dare say TMNT is not directly trying to take from...
When was it created? Was it the 80s?
The comics.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Because it wasn't that long after the movies came out, was it? Because it was 1990.
Yeah, 90. Yeah. Because they had the animated series as well in the 80s. That was before the movies. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was early 2000s.
No, they had an animated one, in the 80s, not long after the comics came out.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
84 was the first comic, 87 was the show, and then 90 was the... Also, again, with Star Wars, not really a trilogy. Neither is TMNT.
It is more of a trilogy.
Yeah,
like, they're not telling the same story.
The fourth one is related. The animated,
true.
the 07 one.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't count it, though. I did love the animated one as a kid.
I loved it as a kid. I don't like it now.
Yeah.
Don't like any of the Turtles movies.
Yeah, I still really like the first one. I don't think the second one's good.
Did you watch them as a kid?
The third one's very naff. Yeah, so when I was, I would have been like 5 or 6, I went to my neighbour's house to hang out. And they had the first one on VHS. And I was like, I must have seen something Ninja Turtles at the time, because I remember being like had no idea about this movie.
I had Turtles toys before I saw any of the
I had
publications.
I must have seen something animated, because I was like, what the fuck, there's a live action
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, and I was so stoked.
Yeah.
And so we watched it and I was obsessed with it, and I made Mum take me to, would have been Blockbuster, because I don't think we were going to Flemmo's at the time. Flemmo's, for people at home, is the Blockbuster in our very small Australian town,
Cres Vegas.
Yeah, that we grew up in, and that was where you got all your DVD rentals. It was just a little milk bar.
With his hen.
Yeah. We have a lot of things we like to call Flemmo's movies that we associate exclusively with just seeing them at Flemmo's. And
Titanic 2.
Yeah. But before Flemmo's, I had Blockbuster. And
not
Blockbuster.
In Cres Vegas.
No, there was one in Ballarat,
about
half an hour away.
Yeah.
And I'd get shit from there all the time. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I fucking loved it.
Nice.
And I've never looked back.
We Blockbuster used to... I rented a Batman game that I couldn't beat there. But there were some games I didn't get that I saw there, like the Attack of the Clones.
Oh, fucking segue of the century, my guy. So, Attack of the Clones.
Now we're talking about the prequels. The second movie in the second trilogy.
In the TMNT trilogy.
In the Star Wars.
Yes, in the Star Wars trilogy.
Saga.
We've talked a lot about Star Wars.
We've talked about Attack as well.
I think we can ring it a bit more, though.
Let's start with...
Phantom.
Well,
first of all, what's your favourite one of the three?
I don't know.
That's a tricky one for me as well.
Every period of my life, the answer has changed.
Yeah. When I was a kid, it was Phantom.
It was Attack for me.
Mm.
I loved Attack of the Clones.
I think Attack is my current favourite.
Oh my goodness.
Phantom's probably the best.
Phantom's my current favourite.
Phantom was my favourite as a kid.
Why?
I loved the action sequences. I loved the way the CGI looked for some reason.
Yoda was a puppet for the final time ever.
Yeah.
99?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
And he didn't look great, but it was still better than...
He looked better than Yaddle.
Yaddle, that's right.
A Yaddle proof.
That old chestnut.
But, yeah, so... Phantom Menace, so boring. It's grey. There's like no colour in it. I'm such a stickler for that shizer now.
Incredible music though.
Great music. Favourite I can't
probably, honestly, dare I say,
Duel of Fates is like up there for Star Wars music.
Yeah, dare I say, some of the best Star Wars music ever composed.
But as a kid, it was Attack of the Clones was my favourite because the giant CGI lightsaber scene in the sand was like, I was all about that.
Yeah.
And then as I got a little bit older, it was Revenge.
Yeah.
Great opening. It's a good opening.
Yeah.
And the final scene of Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's a great...
It's so boring. It's so long.
Revenge is probably the most boring one.
Yeah, it's so long.
Because Attack of the Clones has nothing going on, but it's constant, like, shit happen. Like, it's just moving through
It's just okay.
Yeah, none of it matters. It's so fucking, like, But it's at least constantly happening, and Revenge is just a whole lot of nothing until the end.
But the opening, good opening. I do still like that opening.
Yes,
great classic Star Wars opening.
Yes, it felt very... Like, every time I watch it, I'm very, like...
Phantom is not a classic Star Wars opening.
No, it's not.
It's Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan going to go talk about the negotiations for the trade route to Naboo and the rest of the...
Yeah, what a way to kick it off. 15 years after the last one? 16 years?
And, but Duel of Fates, that's honestly the only reason it's my favourite of the prequels, because of that one track.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the tracks of the other three.
Nah, neither.
So, Phantom Menace opens with the negotiations for the trade route, which, as a kid, is like all you want to know about.
Yeah, you want to know the politics of like how they're getting
and how the Gungans are going to be affected by this, by the Nemoians trying to take all the resources from them. What they're not going to pay for the docking fee. 6-year-old me was like, oh yeah. Yeah. I wonder how this will play.
And honestly, something I think that the originals don't get talked about enough is how it does portray politics. I think it's very good in the way that...
Yeah, the Jedi Council, that's all they're talking about. Yeah, they're like, well, it will be good if the Nemoians are allowed through, but the Gungans aren't going to be happy.
Yeah. There's themes of like broad... like imperialism and stuff, and it just leaves it at that. It's not like concerned with the semantics.
But I do like. I think it was an accidental thing. But the Jedi's are like, because they're so powerful, they've really put themselves above everything else. Yeah. So what they say is like gospel, and it has to be done that way. Yeah, yeah. And it's like, oh well, it's a little bit of a dictatorship. Yeah. But the way Anakin questions it is all wrong. Yes, yeah, and no one really questions it in the right way, nor would any of their questions like valid. The Jedi are pretty straight up depicted as like good, like unwaveringly, unequivocally. Yeah, but how and it ends. Well, there's the pod race. Everybody loves the pod race. Great game. Never played it. Yeah, and then there's the. Now this is pod racing, and the editing for the film. Oh, yeah, it's not great. Mate, the cuts between super intense action and then nothing. Just the walking. I hate the color scheme. It's all grey and like
it's way
dim blue.
Yeah, and too desertly. Like it's all washed out. And I don't like the visual style really of any Star Wars movie.
The third one's got not bad color.
Which
Revenge.
Third one? Oh.
Revenge. The costumes suck in the prequels. All of them. All the costumes are silly. Yeah. I didn't mention the costumes in Empire, but I love them. They're my favourite.
Production
Leia's
design,
Hoth outfit is just so good.
Yeah. I don't mind some of the sets in like Phantom.
I just remember the Jedi Council. That's all we see, and then like Naboo.
Naboo, I think looks alright.
That could have been a cool scene if they just kept to that instead of cutting between little Annie pod racing through the Federation ship or whatever.
I guess it's the Skywalker saga. You can't stray too far from the
Darth
Skywalkers.
Sidious is in it, and he's just talking to people through the weird portal thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Chancellor Palpatine at the moment. And then at the very end of the movie, when it's the celebration after I don't even know what they're celebrating, just that the negotiations fell through or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's celebrating.
Yeah.
They couldn't get Samuel Jackson for there, so they got his stunt double, but it's like a head-on shot, and you could just see him next to Chancellor Palpatine as he's talking to Anakin. Like, the first time they meet, so it's a super powerful, meaningful moment, but all I'm looking at is not Samuel Jackson. And the music.
They all look alike anyway.
Sorry, I had something in my throat.
Jedis.
I mean Jimmins. Oh, they should have been called the Jimmins.
When are the Bintang boys going to be in Star Wars?
To calm down with all this.
Yeah, I don't really. Is Bintang boy? Bintang's like a beer in like Thailand, isn't it? Is that?
There's Bangtang.
I'm thinking of something.
What are we all?
This podcast is brought to you by Bintang beer
and special guest Jimin.
Woo! Hello.
I mean, hey, look, Shane Gillis's career took off before it started for this, so maybe
let's just keep hammering in like Asian stereotypes until we get famous. I don't think that's how it works, but it's certainly one way of trying.
So, Attack of the Clones
doesn't have any Asians in it.
Well, the Nemoidians are based off Asians. That was like, they were too. So I can do an impression of a Nemoidian. It's like,
that makes it okay.
They're still coming through. How is that possible? Sir, destroyers. That was Ewan McGregor.
That was pretty accurate.
It just screamed that into the microphone. Yeah, and then, it's also got a Jewish.
Oh yeah, water.
Water, yeah. No, only money. I mean, and Liam Neeson, it couldn't look more bored throughout the whole
he
film.
looked so out of place. Ewan McGregor, I'll give it. That is one of the best casting choices any Star Wars movie has made.
Yeah,
getting Ewan McGregor to be young.
You know he's Wedge Antilles' nephew, don't you?
Oh yes, that's right. I thought you were going to say. Yeah, I thought you just meant he was Wedge Antilles. So I was like, I feel like he's been a bit young for.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Alec Guinness, though, one of my favourite actors, hated Star Wars.
Yeah.
So did the 100%. Actor who played Wedge Antilles, told Ewan McGregor not to go for it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? It's fat stacks. And
I know, but...
You basically just get to fucking...
Well, it ruined Jake Lloyd and it ruined Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, but luckily Ewan can act, so he escaped that a little bit.
Well, yeah.
But Attack of the Clones, sorry. Jango Fett, love Jango Fett, love the... Kamonian, love all that stuff. The extended lore is all my favourite stuff for that. I can't remember how Attack starts.
Attack is I can't remember exactly what, but it's like the sequence where Ewan McGregor jumps out the window and he fucking like and grabs onto the.
Oh yes, the Sam Wexler or whatever.
Yeah.
The bounty hunter that Jango Fett hired.
They're in like the Blade Runner scene.
Yeah, okay, so I love that. Jango Fett hired a bounty hunter to kill Princess or Queen Amidala, I don't know what she is now. And then Zealot or whatever that Zwessel, I can't remember her name, gets a droid to do it, and then the droid deploys some centipedes to go do it. And then
roundabout.
And then when Anakin and that's right, it starts off in an elevator and they're like, I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
And Anakin's like so much older than he was. Yeah. I love Annie and the adult flirting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very
but
iffy.
And then Ewan McGregor leaps out the window and grabs hold of the droid thing, and on his face he's sort of like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And then Hayden catches him in the speeder thing. Yeah. And then later on Hayden jumps out of the speeder and Ewan's like, I hate it when he does that. It's like, well, where'd he get it from?
Fucking lunatic.
Yeah, and then it's bounty hunter called, and then Jango kills the bounty hunter. Such a convoluted
Attack of the Clones is
Attack in the Clones.
Attack in the Clones is very I would consider it like an early example of what I like to call TikTok movies.
Yeah.
Where it's just like constant shit and happening one after the other.
The film itself is like a trilogy because there's like set pieces, and then it's so different to the next one. It's like not related to the first part that had just happened. Yeah. It's different location, different whatever. Yeah. It just keeps moving through it. It's like designed for short attention spans. TikTok movie. And then we get to Geonosis. No, we get to Kamino, but we're not there for that long. And then Ewan McGregor meets Jango Fett.
Yeah.
And then he flies away from Jango Fett. And then they got the bombs that make the cool sound.
Yeah.
They're dead silent and they go, wow.
That's right.
Great on a surround sound.
Yeah, sound design's great still.
And then they get to Geonosis, which I do not stop talking about. Then it's the Jedi fight. Cole Sprouse gets shot by Jango Fett.
Cole Sprouse.
That's the Jedi that looks like the Placidiosaurus, the dinosaur-looking one.
Right.
His name's like Cole or something. And I always remember being like, oh, Cole Sprouse.
Nice.
And then it ends with...
I can't remember how the second one ends. How Attack ends.
Oh, it ends with Hayden and Princess or Queen Amidala getting married.
That's right.
In the place where we get the infamous line, I hate sand. It's rough, it's coarse, it's irritating, it gets everywhere.
Keep forgetting
Not like you, as he's rubbing.
Shakespeare could never.
He was quaking when that shaz was being written.
Shaking and pissing and coming and shitting his pants.
Did you hear Jisoo and Bo Hyung are dating now?
Are they?
Yeah.
They
appeared in the Tackle Close together.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh. Are they
what a funny fact.
Are they in the kissing booth?
Well, we need to do Revenge of the Sith first, and then we'll get
fucking hell, man.
So the kissing booth of the Star Wars
I don't think we
prequels.
need to run down every fucking
We'll
movie.
just get to it, because it's got some cool scenes in it. It's got the opening.
All right.
It's one thing, because I mentioned it earlier, so I have to mention it now.
Yeah.
Schrodinger's mansion, as they call it.
Oh, yeah, like the Schrodinger's gun on the wall.
Yeah, and Chekhov's cat. So it starts with the space scene of them shooting the other space, and then some naff in the middle. So long and boring. Hayden's conflicted. There's a scene that's reversed. It really wigs me out every time. It's Hayden looking up, but it's reversed.
That's right. You always seem to notice those.
I love
very
Batman.
rarely do.
The Batman and Robin is so bad.
Yes, yeah, it's incredible.
But that happens, and then Hayden kills Mace Windu. I love how I'm calling them actors, but then other people call them by their character's name. Hayden kills Mace Windu.
We're just like 50-50.
Kills Mace Windu, and then Sidious has unlimited power. And then it would have been great, because Hayden's crying, it like is fine, and he like slumps back down. You know what he's thinking, you know what he's feeling, and he goes, "What have I done?" Hayden, damn it, shut up!
Yeah.
Flipping George, you had it already. And then Sidious is like, Lord Vader. Just instantly names him. I think he's named Vader because of like Vater in German is father. So that's why George is.
Yeah.
But I mean, that might have been coincidence, because he's named that in A New Hope.
Yeah.
But they hadn't really realised that until the third one. But anyway.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then at the end, Hayden, Obi-Wan fight. It's a good, very long, at the very end, when Hayden's given, when Ewan's given that speech, he's like, "I loved you like a brother, Anakin."
Yeah.
And then Hayden's like, "I hate you."
Yeah.
They cut a line of dialogue where Hayden asks, he's like, "Help me." Yeah. But you can see him still mouth it.
Yeah.
I wish they kept that in, because that would have been way more powerful.
That's
Ewan, like, he can't help him, but he can't kill him, so he just takes the saber and walks.
Yeah. Fuck.
And then the ship flies over the lava, and then it casts a shadow over the lava. Like, the lava's not a light source of its own.
Oh, true.
And then they instantly put the suit on him. Like, they don't clean up the wounds.
Yeah.
So he's just got charred bits of leather and plastic all on him.
Yeah.
That really irked me.
Yeah.
And then they're looking at the Death Star construction that's just, like, newly been built.
Yeah.
And then, Grand Moff Tarkin's there, but it's just some dude in prosthetics.
Yeah.
But he just looks like Max Headroom. And then he just walks off screen. And then it just ends, and you're like, "Oh wow, what an end to the trilogy and the start of Star Wars."
Yeah. And then little did we know it was really going to be only the beginning.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
10 years later, we would be inundated with just constant fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Padme dies of a broken heart.
Yeah.
That's her official cause of death.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, the nurse robot or doctor, whatever's like, oh, she died." And Ewan's like, what happened? Robert's like, "She's really sad." And then Ewan McGregor and the robot go to a kissing booth together.
Yeah. Real quick, Jacob Elordi should be in one of these movies.
Well, they did have Joel Edgerton.
Yeah, there we go. That's enough Aussie representation.
Who was also in that.
They filmed.
Obi.
I think they filmed the prequels in Sydney, like on a soundstage in Sydney.
We should talk about The Matrix. That's it. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
That's filmed in
well,
Sydney
that doesn't.
too. My
count.
dad saw Keanu Reeves like driving on the highway once when they were filming that.
I think you've told me.
And he was like, "Yo, Keanu."
Yeah.
And Keanu went, "Oh, break point."
Break point. Yeah. Wick John. Fucking.
I was at Point Break.
He's like just retarded.
Advocate Devil.
Fucking Reeves Keanu. He's just like Yoda.
Onion.
But yeah,
Jaden Pinkett Smith.
I keep thinking Keanu Reeves is in the kissing booth, but he's
in Noah Centineda's kissing booth.
Yeah, for SPF 50,
Russia or
whatever that movie's called. And I keep thinking Noah Centineda's in these movies.
So anyway, the kissing booth. Joel Edgerton's in it.
Joel Edgerton,
Joey's
Noah Centineo.
Batman, Bane. Oh, which we've just transitioned.
We just skip over kissing booth.
So yeah. Joey King invites Jacob Elordi over.
I was like, what the fuck movie are you talking about? So she's friends with this guy.
The brother.
Yeah, and they've got this list of rules that they can't fuck each other's... Because we've got, a similar list of rules where you're not allowed to fuck my brother and I'm not allowed to fuck yours.
Well, you've broken that several times.
Yeah, but, I mean, surely you can understand.
Yeah, it's fine, because I've done it with your girlfriend.
Oh! That's fine. That's not on the list.
Okay.
But, like, this series of movies is... adapted from Wattpad fan fiction by a 15-year-old Welsh schoolgirl.
Yeah.
And made this worldwide phenomena that we've
come to know. She wrote the movies, or she wrote
the books on Wattpad, and then the movies got made, like, optioned based on these Wattpad fanfic.
Are they fanfic of something, or is it just like smut? She
just wrote? No, sorry, it's not fan fiction. I think she just wrote it like
manifesto.
Yeah, it's just Jacob Elordi fanfiction.
Yeah. He's so good in Elvis, dude.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for him to fucking.
I can't wait
put his stamp on the Elvis name.
How to make a ghetto.
Aussie representation, man. We just get the best.
Well, everyone was in Elvis was Australian except for
but
Austin and Colonel Cunts.
Yeah, Austin Colonel Cunts. Yeah, like, so they have this list of rules, right? Where
how do they meet?
I don't fucking know. There's that whole montage at the start where there's...
The mud dies in the montage as well.
Yeah, and it just has no bearing on the rest of the story.
We should do that.
Yeah, we'll have this whole kissing booth style intro for the episode.
It's like how I was describing Lord of the
Rings. But that intro, it genuinely may as well be the intro to Lord of the Rings. It's just like monologue, montage, everything, all this unnecessary shit.
And then the mum dies and she's like, and this is how we got here.
Yeah.
And then she finds the box that you can only have 13 wishes from.
Yeah, that's right. And then she uses them all upon like making her dad sexy and able to play the saxophone or something.
Yeah, and then she escapes out of the pit.
Yeah, and then she gets hit by 2 cars. And dies.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. We should do like a Wish Upon special. That movie's
Terence Punjabi song. You could say that instead of wishing well.
Giving
you a wish upon.
Wish
upon. To the booth. Oh, you know I love that Joey King.
Fuck me, man. You're on a roll.
Bullet train. I can't think of anything else.
But yeah, like, that opening montage I think is incredible. Like, I genuinely think it's so fucking...
It's tonal whiplash.
Talk about TikTok movies, but fuck me.
Yeah.
It suffers from that... Oh, I wouldn't say it suffers, but it's got that thing the American movies, like, particularly American school movies, have... Where the bullies are just psychopaths, like straight up, like evil, like horrific people.
What does the bully do in this?
He like molests Joey King. Like he goes up, and then like Jacob Elordi goes up too and beats the fucking like living shit out of him.
And Jacob's like a 6'2", like 30-year-old,
and it's like he's like wailing on him. It's so out of place in the movie.
I think I've only seen the second one.
They're all the same. Once
Or the
you've
third
seen,
one, I can't remember.
Once you've seen one, you've seen them all. But yeah, the first one's the only one that's really worth talking about because the other ones are just like...
Well, there's
they may
one
as well
scene
not
in the
be
third
sequels.
one.
They may as well just be like completely different movies just with the same actors in them.
Yeah.
They're not even the same characters in the sequel.
So they're not actually dating Joey King and this other kid who we don't know
Her friend.
the actor's name or the character's name. What's his name?
Joel Courtney is the actor's name, and he's the...
Joey Courtney.
Joel... Oh, is Joel Courtney? Yeah, I think so. And it's not Jai Courtney.
Yeah,
Too much Aussie representation in one movie.
Yeah, and I just remember at the end of the film when he gets arrested and he has to join the Suicide Squad.
Yo, just like Joey King should.
Anyway, so yeah, is that it?
No, we've got a few more things to talk about, which I've got a good segue. So just fucking let me do it this time.
I've already done it.
Do you remember the grinding coochies line? By the way,
Who?
Grinding coochies.
I don't think I've.
Where she's like, I just kissed your brother at the kissing booth, and then he's like, all right, well, don't grind coochies with him.
And
like,
but he's like, but soaking's okay.
Tribbing's fine, but
don't macrodose. It's microdose.
Yeah, it kind of feels like one of those movies where the original script was more of like a drama. But
yeah, it's like not really a movie.
Some of those, but it feels like the original script was was a movie.
yeah.
Then, some of those bones remain. There's some like weirdly like I felt like maybe originally it was more of a statement on how like genuinely sociopathic these characters are. Because why are they so awful and like toxic to each other?
I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna. I think a lot of like teenage girl fanfic is like, oh, this dude's like a serial killer, psychopath.
A lot of it is like a lot of media, especially Netflix stuff, is very like it's catered towards younger girls, and it's about like a horrific dude who's like treating this girl like shit, and I just don't get it. I don't know why that's such a big genre.
Because when I act like that, I get funny looks, but I'm not attractive.
That might be it. You're also a terrible person, and I think you need to be doing your Jimin impression a bit more just to like butter them up. I
do remember the scene where Joey King gets in the car and she's like, I've got to tell Jacob Elordi that I love him so much. Yeah. And he's like, takes off the Batman costume. Should have been an Elvis costume.
Yeah,
he said, oh, Joey King is me.
Yeah, he's just sitting in the Batman
outfit. G'day, Joey.
He's a fucking loser. But yeah.
Is that the first one?
What's that?
That scene?
Yeah, that's the first one. He's like, she's like, oh, I love him. And then he's like, you already told him.
Oh, I have to go tell him. Like, you already told him.
And he takes off the mask and she's like, oh my God.
And then Jimin's in the
So
back.
they must have been just sitting. Yeah, Jimin's there too.
He sings a song.
He's remember the song the whole time. Like,
but do you remember the song he sings at the end?
Does he sing Butter?
I want to be ninja. Oh no, that's Turtles. Sorry, I can't. I got them mixed up.
Go ninja, go ninja, go. Yeah, I don't think...
Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover.
Do you think we've sealed our fates with this one?
No, wait, the N-bomb, which is coming. 2 episodes, guys, get ready for it. We're just going to straight drop it without...
That's when we talk about Black Panther. Yeah.
Yeah, Wakanda Forever will...
The Black Panther special, it's going to be dedicated. I
saw this TikTok and it was this dude and he just replaced one word from like a movie title with the N-word.
That's pretty creative. I wonder what he did with Jaws.
So anyway, at the end of Kissing Booth 3,
Jacob, 6 years later,
since the incident of Raccoon City.
Yeah, and they haven't seen each other, and she's a game dev now, and she's got short hair. She's basically become a lesbian.
Oh, really?
And then she falls back in love with Jacob Elordi, seeing him, and they go for a ride on their motorbike. That's the end.
I think we watched different movies.
No, that's the end of Kissing Booth.
And then Jacob drops...
Or one of the Noah Centineo movies, I don't know.
And then Jacob drops the American accent and does like an Australian accent for like one word.
That's right.
But I was like, has he been doing that the whole time? Or was that just like a one... Because everybody knows in Hollywood, the first take is the best take.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you flub it.
Of course.
You go with it.
And obviously these people couldn't afford Elordi's day rate, so
yeah,
he's a
Euphoria pay.
He's a hard one to get. He's a good get, and that's why they rang out as much lordy as they could.
Listening to him speak, he sounds like a monk.
He has no idea what he's talking about.
But what he is talking about was super interesting. Like that GQ, what's in my bag or whatever.
Yeah.
And he just talks about the stuff. He's like, oh, this like classic actor like always had a deck of cards, so like whatever, and then like a notepad, he just writes stuff down.
Yeah.
And like all his favorite movies, and I'm like, oh, he's like really into it.
But
and he's
I feel like it sounds like it's like something he's heard about someone he idolizes doing, and he just is doing it.
Well, it seems like he's looking at like what people consider the greatest actors, and he's like, what did they do?
Yeah.
So he's like doing that as well.
And
it's
it's
like
rubbing
super
off on
interesting.
him. He's
But the way he was saying it,
yeah,
I was like, oh,
yeah.
He's talking about Laurence Olivier. He's like,
yeah.
I know Olivier, and he's like, I did a Shakespeare. It's like, get your tongue out of your mouth, Jacob, and then we'll be able to.
Just Australians just can't help it. We can't. We all sound retarded. We sound awful. It's our accent.
Oh, there's one slur we've got out of the way.
Oh, retarded.
That's like that's a big no-no now.
Oh well, yeah, I don't.
I so would have.
That's fine. You've been given this gift of destruction.
So it's like so hard. I'm like fine not saying it. Unlike someone who's sitting in front of me, but like when I'm not allowed to,
don't stop saying
when you're not allowed to, it's like. Ugh. Anyway, this is just completely.
Yeah, it's forbidden. It's the temptation.
Yeah, like the night.
I'll bleep that one.
There we go. Great transition.
We're going to talk about the Dark Knight.
The darkest, blackest nights.
When we come back from the break, and I'll have a HR conversation.
Oh wait, sorry. Did we talk about it?
What?
Was that it? Kissing
yeah, that's all bad.
All right.
That's all for
the
bad.
set's falling apart. We're falling apart.
We're going to take a break to collect ourselves and make sure
do the segue before we go.
Segue.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to connect the Batman.
Go.
Joey King's in both.
Oh, I already did.
He's in Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You just. Yeah.
All right, so that was a great. Thanks for coming along with the ride with us, guys. It's all over.
We'll go.
We'll get Shane Gillis on the next step.
We'll come back with our final ever segment, probably, with the ugly. We'll speak to you guys soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.